Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Bull Trap here, coming at you with game number 2 of the quarterfinal series between GoRush, who is there on the left side of your screen, and Reach, who's on the right side of your screen. And this is hopefully going to be another amazing game between these two absolute titans. Absolute titans and legends in their prime as well. And by the way, if you're watching these games in order, it looks a little bit different. I've mentioned this before, but this is played on a different day than game 1, so that's why they kind of looked a little bit different than they did in the previous game. This is on the map Neo Requiem, our lovely map with the sunken main and the high ground natural expansion, which we've seen so many games on over the last couple seasons. It's a pretty cool map. Here's going to be Reach, the yellow Protoss player at the right side of the screen. Our teal Zerg on the left is going to be GoRush, in case you are not aware. I am trying to, by the way, put these games in a playlist, but because I'm actually been traveling and working and moving, and I actually am not even sure where I will be when this game gets uploaded. I'm not able to put them in the playlist like every single time. Usually if I am living somewhere stable, then as soon as the game goes up, I can, you know, add the reply so that there's a link at the end of the game to the next game and put them all in the playlist and everything like that. So apologies if I'm a little bit behind on that, but I am trying to make a playlist for this for this series. All these Star Leagues that I've been doing, I've been making playlists for. So, you know, if you ever... Ooh, what's going on there? Okay. He was like, I can't get down into there, but he's actually going to try and block the hatchery here. He knows that the drone, because the drone is there, that this is his base, and that's just like a scouting drone. So he's doing battle with the drone. Drone wants to make a second base very, very badly, but he knows he has to kind of push back that probe before he can do it. Actually, the probe's now going into the main, and the drone is following it in there. Oh, the spawning pool gas. Maybe it was a fake out. Maybe he never wanted to make a hatchery at all. Or maybe he decided because he couldn't make a hatchery, they didn't want to make a spawning pool instead. That's also a possibility. But in any case, I just wanted to mention that. I think I've mentioned it before, but, you know, if you have like a friend, a compatriot, colleague, someone that you're like, oh, you gotta watch this ever Star League, man. You gotta watch it from the beginning. You know, there's a playlist available, so. Anyway, Reach going for 2 gateways. This is very interesting. You know, it's pretty difficult to pull off a Forge expansion on this map. So I'm not surprised that that's the strategy he's going, but both players going kind of aggressive here, basically. Both players going for early buildings that make you units. The gateways, the spawning pool. The spawning pool able to spawn those Zerglings. They're actually able to get those Zerglings out. They're actually running out onto the map. Again, not something you see very often. Not something you see very often in, you know, like 2020. And sometimes I talk about, I keep wanting to say like, oh, in 2020 this, and I mean like, you know, the modern play style, but it's not 2020 anymore, but it kind of still is, right? I feel like 2021 has kind of been like 2020 part 2, basically. So I feel like 2020 still kind of encompasses it. Anyway, so forgive me if I just say 2020. Even though we are casting games here in 2021, even though the games are from 2005. So, who really cares? But in any case, in 2021 or 2020, or even 2010, it'd be a very rare sight to see Zerglings running out onto the map before the second hatcher was even placed down. You know, the game has become much more macro-focused, I feel, over the last decade and a half. So it's kind of been, and that's one of the reasons why it's fun to look back at these old games, to kind of see the stylistic differences and everything too. So I think that's kind of cool. Anyway, we got Reach making a lot of zealots, and I like this plan here. He's going to go ahead and move out onto the map with some of these zealots, and he's going to leave a couple on the ramp, or maybe put the reinforcements on the ramp, because the main thing that GoRush is going to want to do. Wait a minute, he didn't put down a hatchery. Wait, what's going on? Is he all in off one base? Wait, hold on a second. We saw this drone go out, but there's no hatchery there. Did he cancel it when he saw the Zealots? Because he's like, oh crap, this is a 2-gate? What? There's no hatchery there, right? Am I crazy? I mean, I probably am. I've been driven crazy a lot recently. Okay, so his hatchery's in the main. The hatchery is in the main. He built it as a macro hatch instead of an expansion hatch. That is very interesting. So playing it very safe against this 2-gate pressure. And again, I don't think you would see that in 2020. I feel like, you know, Zerg would still put down the expansion and they would try and defend the expansion rather than be this safe, basically. Hydralisk then going down. Now his lair is already up, so he's actually a little bit late for a lurker rush, but he is going to be able to switch into these lurkers. And, okay, the Zealots are coming into the main base here. There is one sunken colony. It's in a beautiful position. Oh, he's going to put his Zealots on the ramp to block the Zerglings from getting in there. He didn't fall back all of his Zerglings. Okay, he does have Zerglings in the main base, though. So GoRush does have the opportunity to clog up the attacks. Just the Zealots versus that sunken. The Zealots win easily. But if the Zerglings can get in the way, oh, he's going to do a nice surround on the ramp Zealots as well to kill them off. But Reach is going in for an attack while he's occupied on the ramp. He's cleaned up the ramp, and now he's falling back with his Zerglings into the main base as well. And it looks like he's going to be able to probably fend this off, meaning GoRush. You know, if the Zerglings can kind of get in the way of the sunken colony, make sure that the sunken can fire extra shots before the Zealots have time to get there. Ideally, you kind of want a couple Zealots attacking the sunken, actually, because if you have a sunken colony that gets attacked several times, it gets down to 1 hit point, it doesn't matter, right? It's still firing that whole time. It's soaking up damage, and while it's soaking up damage, your Zerglings can continue doing damage, or your Hydralisk, for that matter, because now those Zealots are trapped behind there, and he's actually just chilling. He's just chilling, letting himself get attacked by the Hydralisks. He needs to move out and do something with them. He's going to try and engage with the Zerglings. He is going to get those Zealots absolutely slaughtered. But he's hoping he can at least take out a couple units with him. Actually, where is he going here? Just trying to get a scout in? No, the Zealots all die. So, Reach is maybe not necessarily looking good here. But remember, GoRush is on one base with like 10 drones. Because he's made all Zerglings and Hydralisks. He's made so many Zerglings, though. So many Zerglings. He's coming in to test the waters on the expansion opportunity here being set up by Reach. And Reach has gone into expansion. He built that forge behind as well. While that was all going on in his main, that may have been why he wasn't engaging with those Zealots, because he just wanted to kill time to kill GoRush. No, kill time to get some cannons up at his expansion and get some defenses up there at that position, basically, for the counterattack. And it looks like he's succeeded in that, if that's what his plan was, because now he has the cannons up. He's got 4 or 5 cannons. He's got a wall of Zealots in front of those cannons as well to block against the Zerglings. And one of the nice things about Zealots is they can move. If you've got your wall made of buildings, like we saw in the last game, the buildings cannot move. And so you have to, not like Terran or anything. I guess some buildings can move. It's not that silly to think about buildings moving. But Protoss buildings cannot move. This is also not the StarCraft 2 Alpha. Did you guys know that in StarCraft 2 Alpha, there was a version of StarCraft 2 when phase cannons were called phase cannons because they were actually able to phase and move and then reappear in a new location? It's true. Anyway. Point being, though, the Zealots can move out of the way of the Lurker fire. So he can actually still keep them in front of the cannons as a foil to block Zerglings from attacking the cannons, whilst also keeping them safe, and his buildings are not being threatened. He can continue to get his upgrades with the forge in the background as well. Sometimes if your forge is in the front forming your wall, then it's a little bit more difficult to get your upgrades going because the Hydralisks come in and kill the forge. Same with the gateways as well. So in any case, not saying that, you know, Forge Expand is a bad build, but it's just the situation that we've gotten ourselves into now, there's some advantages to the way that he's playing it. GoRush still doesn't have a second base. What are we seeing here? Reach has 2 bases and all of his tech, and GoRush has 1 base and most of his tech. Okay, GoRush now finally building expansion there, but like, this is crazy. I mean, I guess that's what happens if you build your hatchery in your main there, your macro hatch. Now, again, you know, if he built a hatchery in his expansion base instead of in his main, would he have lost it to those Zealots? Probably. Probably. I don't know if he would have had the base up in time to get enough creep to actually put down a Sunken Colony at that expansion before the Zealots killed it. So it was still probably a good move. But, anyway. He's got a Spire up now as well. And we just saw a bunch of eggs morph at the same time. Is this Mutalisks? Is this Mutalisks? Probably not. I don't know if he had enough. He only had like 3 or 4 larvae that just morphed there. It's probably going to be Scourge. But it looked like, you know, the Spire finished and he decided to make some units off of it. Well, actually, there's drones at the expansion. So there's some Scourge popping out. Maybe he's making Mutalisk to follow up the Scourge. We'll have to see. But it just feels like probably going to just go with Scourge right now. He knows that Reach has 2 or 3 Corsairs. Making Mutalisks into 3 Corsairs is probably not the best idea. So you actually want to try and get some Scourge out earlier. And at least try and see if you can pick off. Never mind. You know, and don't listen to what I say. GoRush knows better than I do. For sure. Oh, that Scarab. Oh, that Scarab. Taking out the Lurker and polishing off a few Zerglings that were standing nearby. The entourage, the security entourage of the Lurker getting popped at the same time. Reach now pushing out onto the map here with a shuttle with a Reaver in it. A handful of Corsairs as well to battle the air. And, you know... GoRush trying to go for these Mutalisks, but I was like, the reason I thought he wouldn't go for it is because he only had like, it looked like 4 of them. And he's like, okay, 4 is enough. So now he's gotten 4. He's trying to get more as well. And the Mutalisks are battling Corsairs in the air, though. All of his Sunken Colonies are getting demolished before they're even completed. The Dragoons are going there as well. And he's actually, he put a Zealot on top of the Lurker so he could target it. But then the Reaver changes targets and the Zealot just dies instead. This time he does get it, using the splash damage to charge to attack his own Zealots. Oh no, the Reaver gets targeted from behind, but one Scarab kills all of them off. The Reaver with a sliver of hit points survives to send even more Scarabs after the natural expansion. The Mutalisks are sitting impotently by the sidelines, not able to go in and attack versus 5 Corsairs and Dragoons as well. And Reach has taken out the natural expansion. I think he's going to charge down the ramp here and finish this off as well. That one Sunken Colony that was built earlier that could maybe defend a handful of Zealots cannot defend against Reavers and Dragoons and Zealots. And, well, the Corsairs aren't going to do anything to the Sunken Colony. But you get the idea. He's got a lot of everything. And, he's going after that Reaver. He just needs a couple hits. Oh, the Reaver does go down. But at what cost? The cost actually is 10 Zerglings. We can say what cost. It's not that big of a question. But he needed those 10 Zerglings to battle these Dragoons. And they cannot. And so, in fact, he's going to lose the game here, and GG out of it. Well played by Reach. What a man toss right there. Very, very well played. And he's going to tie up this series. The Protoss hopes are still alive in this Star League, ladies and gentlemen. Reach ties up the series. Just look at how many people are watching a quarterfinal game. So amazing. I want to go back in time and watch that. That would be so cool. Anyway, I guess that's what we're doing right now, though, isn't it? Kind of going back in time. Anyway, amazing game by Reach. He ties up the series. They are going to go to a game 3 to decide this best of 3 to decide who is going to go on to the semifinals to face Good Friend. And that's going to be a great matchup too, actually. Either way, I think. Although, you know, Good Friend and GoRush have met before. But anyway, we'll see what happens in game number 3. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thanks very much for watching. GG, and take care. And I actually have to hit stop recording, not just unfull screen. GG. See you guys soon with another game.